My name's Donna Maltz, and I'm known to many as Mamadana. And I'm speaking with you today from the big island of Hawaii. Soul to soul solution. Hi, Donna. Hey, Kayla. You made it on. All right, Kelly. Nice to see you, Donna. Hi. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Blow kisses. Say hi. Go for it, Harvest. Woo. Everybody wave. Soil to soul solutions. A blueprint of the planet, healing evolution, removing global pollution, cleansing Mother Earth for regeneration. The movement will gain traction, sparking a universal dream reaction, treating nature with compassion. Realign our values by taking action. We manifest this evolution by practicing soil to soul solution. Love unconditionally. Serve life kind humanely. Devote selflessly. Celebrate diversity. All together now. Soul to soul solution. Soul to soul solution. One more time. Soul to soul solution. A blueprint on the planet, healing evolution. Awesome. Wow. Thank you, everybody, for some of you were moving and grooving and waving to each other, and solutions to 21st century pandemics. One of the conscious cures in the book is to dance and sing and celebrate life together. And today's topic is on family. And
You ready for conscious cures?
yes, but 1 second. He's going to play one more short song because some other people are coming on right now. And for all of you who just came on, hi, Kelly. We were going to do the theme song for the book. Harvest was so inspired by the book that he actually wrote that Soils to Soul Solutions, which is the name of my company. And then he wrote another song for Conscious Cures. And at the very end, he's going to sing Living Like the Future Matters from my first book, but he's also going to sing Love, Joy,
Gratitude and inspiration.
and Gratitude and Inspiration.
We know we should continue to express.
We should continue to express, and that is really where we find family. And that is why unity and community builds our immunity. And wherever we can find that unity, that family, that love, that compassion, that joy, that gratitude, it takes on the word family to a whole new meaning. Now, when you listen to the words conscious cures, and for all of you guys who just came on, this is Dr. Harvey Eckgard, and he's one of our guests, honorary guests, who's speaking with us today. And then if you scroll down, you can all wave. Shannon Kelly's in the house, and Shannon is also going to be gracing us with her wisdom and her knowledge as well on the issue of health, family, business, and planetary healing. So without further ado, because I know a few people said they were going to be late, we're going to do the short version of Conscious Cures. And if you all want to just get up and just feel the music and just allow yourself to unwind.
Shake the tambourine,
we
get your body moving.
Yeah.
Grooving.
That's what the doctor in the house says.
I just want to give it up to Donna, because after reading her manuscript and taking in all the concepts, and she covers so many bases, I extracted what I would consider the main nuggets. And if you, in the book, I do a little forward in the beginning to mention how I felt about the book. But this song, I'm a farmer of songs, so I'm going to go ahead and sing you this song, Conscious Cures. Conscious cures can preserve humanity, unity and community, build immunity, stay faithful to earth blessing you've been given. Together we will focus on the vision, expressing gratitude each day makes a difference in so many ways. It makes your spirit glow. It shines so bright, like a rainbow, giving us hope in our lives. Rebalance your worries, justice to lifetime. Naturize yourself and others, you'll gain peace of mind. Let's create a harmonious space, going forward in grace. There we go. Lead by example, live by your heart. What you think and say really matters. Be honest with yourself and others. Have your purpose in life, reborn. Earth is a web, home web of life. Decarbonize the world, preserve plants and wildlife. Here we go. Conscious cures is our remedy to guide us to live compassionately, share our lives together peacefully. Conscious cures can preserve humanity, unity and community, guilt and immunity. Stay faithful to earth blessing you've been given. Together we will focus on the vision. Conscious cure is our remedy to guide us to live compassionately, share our lives together peacefully.
Everybody give each other a big virtual hug.
Oh, I love singing that too because it's so relevant.
So relevant. So
All right.
awesome.
I'm going to bid you adieu, leave my equipment here and head on over to the hallway.
Can I hear everybody come off mute and everybody give Harvest a big hug, a big, can everybody come on? Oh, thank you all.
Awesome. Good job. Nice to see you again, Harvey.
Snap your fingers.
Oh, goodness gracious, Kayla. Oh my God, is Elena there? I hope. Oh,
She's busy doing something, but she's coming as soon as she's done.
it's my family. So did anybody have a hard time getting on? Because I know, Kayla, you were FaceTiming me, trying to get on FaceTime. Was the link not working?
Yeah, the link that I had wasn't working, but the one that you sent me obviously was fine.
Mhm. So Tell, maybe while we're doing this, everybody, that's Tell to the right of me. She's my left hand woman. She is the woman of like who makes this tech stuff happen for me. She's all the way over in the Philippines, and she is my Hanai daughter. And this is Kayla, who you can see up there. She spent the whole summer with me with my niece Elena, and we're doing a second edition of the Conscious Cures book, and she did not only a thorough read, but a thorough edit. And everybody who has purchased the Conscious Cures book is going to get a free ebook of the second edition. So we'll make sure we'll be taking names. And Kayla, I'm so happy you're here. And for some reason, Tell, I don't see me on the screen. I just see Kayla. Is there a reason for that? I just want to make sure everybody comes who wants to say something can come up. But and it's fine. I love looking at Kayla, so I'd rather look at her than me. I am just so glad that you're all here, and Tell, you can take your time, and if everybody would just go on mute right now for a minute. The way we're going to start off here, well, Harvest already started us to a great beginning, and just seeing all your beautiful faces brings so much joy to me. Just like when we see our children run inside the house all muddy from playing outside. That's how excited I am. You know, it doesn't matter how muddy they are. You're just so happy that they had a good time. And sometimes family is muddy, right? And sometimes it's not all perfect, but we take the best of it. And if you all got the recent newsletter, I did a blog on family, and if you haven't read it yet, please put all your messages in the chat box if you'd like to get it. It's a very, very kind of an outline for what we're going to be talking about in regards to family, because some people come from really shitty families, let's face it, and some people come from such nurturing family relationships that, like Tell, she lives with all her family members and extended families. In a lot of countries other than America, their family, I work with another woman in Pakistan. I mean, they're a unit, right? And what's happened a lot in many other parts of the world, and especially in America, is there's been, you know, the divorce rate. We all know, we don't need to go over statistics, but there's this generational trauma around family. And we all felt it going through COVID. We all felt it going through the last election, where some people were supporting one politician over the others. Some people are vaccinated, some people are not. The divisions, the way that I write in Conscious Cures is those are the things that, those are those things like Shannon Kelly, when she comes on, she's going to blow your mind. But, you know, it's how do we undo all these things? How do we even undo that just because you came from this really horrible dysfunctional family, that you have the ability to create a new family? And part of that is we can find family in our music. There's genres of plants, right? People categorize families of plants. Well, maybe you go better in the Labiaceae family, or that we all know that it is diversity that is the key to civilization. It's the key to ecosystems. It's the key to everything.
Microbiome as well.
Right. So this whole conversation is going towards the incredible opportunity we have from this day on, moving right now. I mean, it takes a village to raise a child, and it takes a open heart to accept that is true. So here we are on this virtual family, and that's why we opened up with song and music and people waving to each other, and take names for you guys, because everybody who's on this call, I know you all, either through virtual or in present, and you're all amazing, and it's such a beautiful thing that we can connect this way, and further connect and have these extended families, which was what we're going to be talking about. So what I was going to do, and Tell, hopefully you've been able to reach out to a few more people, because I heard my phone buzz, and I think that there might have been something wrong with that first link. So I'm going to just start off reading just a couple of things, and then I'm going to introduce Dr. Harvey Eckgard, and he goes by Harvest, and you'll see why, because just like he said, he's a farmer of songs, right? I mean, how beautiful is that? Harvey, you need to move your screen down so we can see your whole face. And it's just like, just bringing out the best in each other, right? So the word family is powerful. The word conjures up multiple meanings and emotions. What does the word family mean to you? And I want you, if you can all like, just think about that. Does your mother come into mind? Like, I know Deanna and I were both orphans. A lot of people here are orphans. We've lost our parents, right? And it's hard. But there are others who fill the gaps, right? And feel that love. And so, what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear that word family? And who do you consider family? Who do you turn to find connection, love, and support? Redefining family. It could be in a church or congregation. It could be at your workplace. And that's Shannon, we both understand that, right? So the topic of this week, obviously, is what does family mean to you? And the takeaways that we're going to be looking at getting is the benefit of having these multiple families, how we can turn a family crisis into an opportunity, understand more clearly how the ripple effect of family dynamics has on our health, our careers, and the planet. And a new relationship and understanding of the word family. And how do we get there? And I always say there's three things that are key to a long-lasting, loving relationship. Number one, communication. Number two, communication. Number three, I want you to all go off mute and say the word. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Communication. Yeah. How many of us have these family relationships where we can't communicate our real feelings?
Authentically, yes.
Right. So communication is key to all of this. And just like when we're going to be talking later on, is even like the communication, like Harvest mentioned earlier, is the microbiome in our guts, the communication that we have with the ecosystems around us, the communication that we have when we play music and art, and we have genres of music. We follow the Grateful Dead or not. That's like family, a tribe, right? So I also want to remind you guys all that the last week we had a great discussion on health with Dr. Alvita Soleil and Dr. Peterson. And if you haven't listened to the replay, it's in the Facebook group, and it's also on our YouTube channel. And Till's going to put that inside the chat so you can get that replay, because it was also another fantastic conversation. So without further ado, I'm going to do a short intro on Dr. Harvey so you know who they are, because not only they are amazing, but they're here to answer any questions you might have, or if you want to reach out to them at a further date, because I can't tell you how helpful both of these humans have been in my life, and they are part of my family and hopefully yours too. So I'm going to start with Dr. Harvey Eckgard. He has dedicated himself to the healing hearts for nearly 4 decades, giving his age away. He earned his master's degree in human biology and clinical nutrition while practicing as a holistic chiropractor in California since 1985. He emphasizes pain management, including family trauma, emotional, holding those things in our bodies, rehabilitation, clinical nutrition. He has traveled internationally and studied different cultures and lifestyles, along with their food and their growing methods, and seeing how family plays a role in their societies. The sense and the biology of our many systems, such as the brain and the gut microbiome, are listening and responding to the information we feed it, like what we feed our families. Dr. Harvest understands the key relationship to living a vital, daily, disease-free life and its connection to the food we grow and eat, which affects our health, families, careers, and so forth. Above all, Dr. Harvey believes in building family and that unity and community does indeed build our immunity. And as Mamadana says, health is our greatest wealth. He also writes songs, as you saw, and at the end of this, if you want to hang on for a few minutes after we're done, you're going to be delighted. And now I'm over the top, over the moon, of course, to introduce you to Shannon Kelly. She is way beyond this description, but she is definitely a highly intuitive, advanced Akashi records and Reiki practitioner. And I'm not sure how I said that right, but she is the creator and also the editor of Vintage Gypsy magazine, the Gypsy Writers Collection, and the Rebels Entrepreneur. This, you guys, this magazine is over the top. I've been able to write some articles in this magazine, and she just pulls out the most incredible tribe of people together. She also co-hosts storytelling, magic, and medicine podcasts, which I've been on, and she's always looking for incredible stories and to interview people. She is a personal transformational coach, a thought leader, a writer, a speaker, and knows how to build family and community with her skills. Through her work, Shannon has helped thousands of people clear their limiting belief systems and conditioning to learn to trust in their inner guidance so that they can create their reality with a spiritual foundation and from a place of confidence and power, with a healthy balance of compassion and truth bombing. I love the truth bombing. Just like our parents, they truth bomb us. Sharon's guidance guides her clients on an empowering journey back home to themselves to build more beneficial relationships with their families and their extended families. Thank you so much, Shannon Kelly and Harvest, Dr. Harvey, to be here. And Harvey, if you could move your screen down just a little, because we just don't see your whole face, honey. Just move your computer back or whatever. Harvey's actually, as you know, because he played music, he's actually in the next room from me. So you need to move your screen back a little or move your chair back. So with that, Tel, I am going to ask you, because I don't have them right in front of me, if you would come off mute and just, or did you send me those, did you email me those questions, or where did you put those questions?
Okay, let me just email that to you.
Okay. So Harvest and Shannon, the first thing that I wanted to just, like this is about having a conversation between the two of you, and also to really feel free to share your expertise around this. And I would like to start by asking each of you how you feel, who you have become, like what has influenced you more than anything to be who you are, and who do you consider family around that? Shannon? Yeah, go. There you go.
Am I jumping in?
Yeah, you're jumping in. Jump in.
So I think when we talk about family, I just want to make that really clear that family isn't just, where we come from. It isn't just who we were born into. I think family is our communities, is where we get our food, where we reside, the people that are having businesses, and just the people that are around us all the time. Those people are our family. I think family is something we create, and family, when you said, what does family mean to you? The first thing that popped into my head is love, because family is supposed to be an unconditional love situation. Although it's not always like that, we can definitely find love by giving love.
Absolutely. And Harvest, what's your take on family? Harvest is a real family man, and his son is about to get married, and there's all kinds of family dynamic going on, most of it stunning. But where's your take on all of this?
We need to unmute you first. There we go.
Harvey? I might have to go check on him. Shannon? Would you just, while I go check on him, Harvey, we thought we had this down, but how do you see expanding family love and support, improving our health, business, and Mother Earth? And can you speak to that a little while I get him on?
Sure, of course.
All right.
When we feel nourished in our own communities and in our own families and with the people that we love and trust, then that gives us opportunity to thrive energetically and to thrive spiritually and to thrive mentally. And all of those pieces together make us who we are as whole beings. There he is.
Can you hear us?
I can hear you now.
Okay,
Cool.
Okay. Take away the show.
well, I'm just going to say that I was very impressed and resonated so strongly with me when Donna gave me the manuscript to Conscious Cures. And, you know, because of our times, it's so vital and important that we shift our perspective and use this crisis as a opportunity to drop the old paradigms and start treating each other in a way where we're really uncovering a lot of the and living more authentically and vibrationally, where we're giving back to one another instead of just taking from one another. And with
Most
family,
definitely.
you know, you think of family somewhat almost like a garden, and it's a relationship you have with the garden. You don't treat it like dirt. You nourish it, you fertilize it. You fertilize your family by giving them good days and moments and meals, happy meals around the table. And I don't mean McDonald's happy meals. I mean homegrown food from farm to table. And just, you know, I was fortunate to raise my family up in the hills of Northern California on a mountain, and we had 10 acres with 40 organic fruit trees. And my children now know what it's like to own your food supply and be part of that, have that intention every time that you eat something, where it came from, how it was sourced. And I think that's something that we really need to shed a light on, because with that comes all the positive healing that takes place in our brain and our microbiome, because they're waiting and listening, as Donna mentioned, for the information for our DNA that comes from the food, and all the beneficial bacteria that when I get our hands in the soil. So this has been a major a part for me and my dedication. Even though I practiced for 35 years treating patients, I've always emphasized how important it is to have positive mental health and positive family relationships in order to heal from whatever wounds you have.
Most definitely. And it all contributes to that positive mindset and that energetic raising of the energetic vibration that people are attracted to. And that's how we build community,
A lot of
is
times
by
with
sharing
Donna,
that.
and Donna has done an excellent job in laying out all the different conscious cures, because a lot of people feel, you know, somewhat emotionally paralyzed from this crisis, and they feel stuck. But the opportunity is there every single day when we wake up to create a new world and live like the future matters. So it's a matter of being proactive. And I think that theme continues to permeate throughout the book. And it's something that all the listeners and readers will probably have as a takeaway, so that we do have an ability to make a difference one day at a time.
Right. You know, I really appreciate that, Harvest. And I think that, you know, in the book, when I identified those 6 top pandemics, environmental, economic, political, fear, media, conspiracy, food and drug, and inequality. Like a lot of times children are talked down to, and a lot of us were talked down to. And there's also this generational trauma, and like thinking about like how we grow up, we're more or less like a spoiled society. And in this day and age, like I see, Kayla and some other young people on here, but when you think about like my husband, Kevin, his sister was just, we're all caught up in talking about family, and he was sharing the stories. Like he asked his sister even just yesterday, who came from Jewish descent, and just these peasants who won't just like growing up during World War I, World War II, the Great Depression, just the horrific stories that they went through. And so when it's so much of a word, when I think about family, love and support is key. That's why sometimes looking at outside of biological family is so important, because there might have been abuse or trauma that is so deep, and that why the forgiveness is so important in the conversation, because like I write about it in the book too. Is just like, my parents didn't want to talk about it. And God forbid my grandparents are around my grandparents, because you don't want to conjure up those bad things. So with conscious cures, or when we're thinking about family, this is what I love about Shannon so much. She's all about undoing everything that doesn't work. That's what her whole career has been, is how to undo.
Well, and the thing is, we have to remember that we are a product of our environment. And so we are a product of our family's experiences and their traumas as well. So we have this generational trauma. And the thing is, how do we heal from that and move forward in a way that feels good for us, in a way that we can lead our own lives and teach our children and our grandchildren to do better than we did? And how do we do that? We have to start with, like you said, like with forgiveness, because we have to come to that place where we understand that they were doing the best that they could at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And they were also products of their environment,
And that was when everybody was drinking after Prohibition, especially. And there was a lot of alcohol abuse when I was growing up during that time. I'm 64. Some of you are my age, some of you are younger, a couple older, but and a lot of times it wasn't necessarily our family or even our uncle or the child molester in the family or whatever it is, right? Those are those memories like that are crippling us, instead of not us, but that we don't shove them aside. We forgive them, and we go, that just because it's their family doesn't mean they're my family, in the sense of building unity and community. Because what Conscious Cures is all about, and what this bringing us all together is, it's like, how do we build our immune system? And like Dr. Harvest was just saying, like the microbiome in the soil. And like Shannon was just saying, like, what do we do with this emotional trauma? Which that forgiveness. But the key, like for me, that I get super stoked about is creating a family like you guys. Everybody just shows up in the middle of the day like this. And now I know a lot of people can't be here and they listen to the replay. And then I share my family. Shannon shares hers. You share yours. I mean, Janie, wow, Janie's here. Janie's also the editor, the main chief editor for both my books. I mean, and I've known Janie for 40 years. And Janie, I'm wearing your earrings. And I'm wearing my father's, gave this ring to my mother. I forget the year, but I could look on here, but I have my glasses on, but it's just to all my love, Bonnie. It's right here, right? And my husband gave me this pendant, and my mom, these were my mom's freshwater pearls and her bracelet. So those are those good memories. Not only do we bring those memories to the surface, right? We show them off, because that ugly stuff or stuff that could have stopped us, that was then, right? So Shannon, tell us how you train or teach or help people undo, because you're an expert at this.
Well, it really is just about, we live in a fear-based world. So the problem is not that we can't move forward. It's that we're happy in our little comfort zone. We know how to navigate ourselves. We know how to navigate who we are as people right now today in the where we are. whether that's mentally or spiritually or physically. And it's about learning how to step outside of that comfort zone, to learn new things, to breathe in new life, and to take responsibility for where you're at right now and decide what it is that you want to do next and where you want to go next and how you want to feel. How do you want to feel as you move forward? And it's about becoming a leader in your own life so that we can create a path for others to follow, just like you do, Mamadana. You do this all the time. You share your message all the time, and it creates this beautiful path that people want to jump on board because you're so full of life. And to be honest, you get to that point where you don't give a shit what other people think, because you're living your life. You're on your journey, and each individual person is on their journey, and you resonate with the people that are in that high vibe energy just as you are, or you stay stagnant. So, we choose to stay stagnant because of fear. Fear of unknown. And the unknown is that, I don't know who that person is that I'm becoming because I've never been her before, or I've never been him before. So we have to take those steps outside of our comfort zone to find out who that is.
And one thing that's very well said. I think that for Donna, what I learned a lot is the passion behind the message, embracing things that really are relevant in these times, helping our children so like they can evolve, and as Donna puts in the book, a collaborative mindset, not being taught
Yes.
in school to be number one in the class and because if someone's number one, then someone got defeated. So you don't have to win all the time. You just have to be the best that you can be and feel good about it.
And success is defined differently for everybody. We get to define our own success. It doesn't have to fit into the conforms of our society. What does success look like for you as a person individually? And how you get to decide that for yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think the future belongs to those who give the next generation reason for hope. And whether there are biological children or our Hanai children, that's what they call it in Hawaii, Hanai, right? Oh, Elena's here. Hi, so excited. That is my niece is in the house. Elena, come off and everybody wave at Elena. This is my actual biological niece. My biological niece. Isn't she gorgeous? She looks just like me.
She's gorgeous. Oh my God. Wait, no, I meant to say yesterday I was literally wearing your skirt, and I always wear the necklace you gave me.
Oh,
The one that you got from the thrift store?
Oh, God,
So my outfit's been sponsored by Auntie Donna as of recently.
Yeah. I love it. Oh gosh, I'm so glad you girls are here. So it is really, really special. Like when you think like, there's both Elaine and Kayla. Oh my gosh, how lucky we are to have these two girls are going to be blood sisters because they did this blood sister thing. Remember when you were a kid? Did you prick yourself and you tried because you wanted to be related? Did everybody raise your hand who pricked their finger when they were kids so they could be related to your best friend? Because you were so angry at home, you wanted to have a real family member, so you prick. Man, I had so many pricks in my fingers one year, it was hurtful. I made blood relatives to as many people, as many people as I could. I see Carolyn smiling over there. Right. And look at Janie's got a moose in the yard, which is the other sense of family that we're talking about, planetary healing. Janie, thank you for sharing. Is that, oh my God, it's a deer. Do you see it? Everybody look at Janie's screen. Oh my God. Bringing in the family, and both Shannon and Harvest, I'd love you to speak more about that, or anybody who wants to come on, just like Janie, that was like too perfect. To like, express what is the extended family, and looking at, I know you're both nature lovers, and Harvest and I were in the ocean today, but when we think of extended family, you guys, tell us more, speak more to that whole notion.
Well, I would start off by saying, and you mentioned this this morning, that, when people, I trained to become a holistic chiropractor and people came to me in pain, they were patients, but I didn't treat them like a file, but more almost like a family, and just to share my knowledge to help them get through some either physical trauma or some repetitive injury. And I think we all have, sorry, sorry. Let me shut that off. We all have the ability every day to somehow give our gifts and the talents that we have, and our kuleani, our purpose, to make a big difference. We just have to, like Kelly said, knock down those old paradigms. I'm sorry, Shannon. And that way, you become free to express yourself, and it builds in stepping stones. And I really believe that this message that Donna has put a lot of time and effort into, with writing and then posting and social media. Oh my God. One of my island brothers, but I can't talk to him now. Just want to share to say that we can express this to people, that they can get out of their comfort zone, because they say nothing ever creative happens in the comfort zone.
It's true.
And we should definitely collaborate and be able to exchange our gifts and our talents. And that to me is extended family, when you build with synergy so that you can actually accomplish so much more.
Most definitely. I want to read something from your book, Donna. Can I? Can
Yeah,
I read
gosh,
something?
yes,
Okay.
please.
It says, this is on page 137, and I had to mark it in the book because it really resonates with me and the work that I do. It says, rather than worry about being jobless, you can create a livelihood that resonates with your core values and benefits community. So to me, that says, you're really getting back to that authentic self, right? The world doesn't need more media. The world needs us to show up exactly who we are and who we want to be, and be passionate about the things we choose. And I think that the universe always has our back as long as we're following that path of passion. And your community gathers for you as you take those steps to really build that authentic version of yourself. And so then it goes on to say, rather than engaging in dysfunctional relationships and worrying about what people think, you can release yourself from energy vampires, connect with kindred spirits, and feed each other's souls. Rather than hate, you can choose love. In the absence of fear, we find love, and where there is love, we thrive. And so when we really start to follow our own path and lead our lives in a way that feels really good for us, and from that place of passion and from that place of confidence, our energy attracts other people that are like-minded. And there is that synergy, like Harvey was saying. So building community and building family really is about coming back to yourself and being that most authentic version of yourself, because that's where you're going to connect with people on a level that thrives, and there's a lot of love there, and it's true, authentic, non-judgmental love. So when we step out of fear and really show our true selves, that's where we start to build family and build community around what we're doing.
So
Again, very well said, Shannon.
that was
I liked another thing that was in the book about Donna mentioning that we need to spoil ourselves with self-care habits and routines and not have judgment. I know on the mainland, if you go off and have a spa day, it's almost like you're breaking the rule or something, that normally you have to be in this high cortisol driven kind of lifestyle. Whereas here on the island, as Donna says, she makes it a point every day to go with her family of dogs and commune with the ocean and the mountain and be part of nature, because that's where the healing takes place. That's where we get the exchange of the energy.
Most definitely, because we are a part of nature, and that's, our society has lost that concept somehow. We are an ecosystem within our own bodies and within our communities and within our families.
Absolutely. And I love what you both just said, just bringing in taking that next layer of looking at what family is. And when we go to the doctors, we're always going to a specialist for this, a specialist for that. It's like separating our body and separating our mental well-being with our physical well-being and our spiritual well-being. And when we look at that from a different perspective, like we are a family onto our own, and like both of you were alluding to that, and like we have these trillions of cells that are like all these children in our bodies, and every day we are managing them. And those cells are either going to be bad cells or good cells. And the bad cells usually die off. Those are the ones we want to die off. But like, if you're like, I've been talking even to my husband about this too, because he broke his hip, and man, it was real bad. And it was like, his leg was just like his whole, it was separate from his body. Right? It's like, my leg's over there, my hip, I can't move, it's over there. But really it's part of our family. Like when you look at your organs as your children, and you look at all your limbs, and I mean, like you were saying, Shannon, and both you at Harvest too, it starts with ourselves, with that self-love. If we can't love our family within, and we can't connect that what we put in our mouth is affecting our minds and our spiritual development and every part of our well-being. How are we going to be a good family member to somebody else? And we like you said, both of you, living by example, right? And that means like what we talked about last week, health relates to family, and family definitely relates to our business. And I love what Dr. Harvey just said about he treated they weren't clients, they were part of his family, part of his tribe. And I know Shannon, and maybe you could talk a little bit more about this. She's the rebel entrepreneur. She builds tribes and helps build businesses around community. And that's how we connected. So, because next week we're going to be talking about business, right? And how it's your business, what you do with your life, by the way. So we're not just talking about how to start a business. No, this is about business as whole, and how your career and your lifestyle relates to your family. Many families break up over family businesses. Many people's health deteriorate because of the business, or it could be the other way around. And so what Shannon is, she's one of those business people who turns things around the other way. And Dr. Harvest is one of those people who had a clinic that was full of love. He would play music to people when he'd come in before he give them an adjustment till they would relax. So I'd like you guys to talk about how your careers have related and how you have created more of a family ambience around what you do, and how that has helped in your success.
Okay, I'd like to say that I've found that a lot of people, it's not what happens to you in life, it's how you deal with it. So stress is that elephant in the room that people sometimes go to as, what's wrong with your life. You've got stress. And a lot of times they talk about how are you watering the garden of your life. You have to make some shifts in the way you approach things that happen to you. And I believe that being here on the island has just been so inspirational. But it doesn't matter where you are, as long as you meditate and you allow yourself to breathe, and when things happen that people don't treat you the way you think they should, it's a lesson, right? Learn from it, you grow from it, and your family is there for you, just like you said earlier. Sometimes they kind of tweak you a little bit and push your buttons. And it's important to embrace them and understand that you're all here connected. And if we give back to one another, we can raise the vibe high enough to where a lot of healing and joyful living can take place.
Absolutely.
I love that because it's very true, right? I mean, and we need to find that within ourselves. The conforms of our society have taught us to be on that hamster wheel. And it's like the go, 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 do, and you can't find success unless that's where you're at. And the problem with that is that it leads to stress, it leads to disease, it leads to ultimately to death, and we lose connection. with not just with ourselves, but with the people around us. And
It changes our reality. And, you know, I'm all about changing your reality, but let's put it on the right side of the spectrum.
exactly. I did a job like that. I have a degree in environmental science, and I did the government job for many years, and I taught in First Nations communities for many years. And what I found was that I was exhausted and I was depleted and I had nothing left for myself. And I turned it all around, and now I teach other people how to do the same thing. And so we build our businesses around our lives instead of our lives around our work. And it leads to a space of joy, and we have more space for joy, more space for friends, more space for family, more space for passion, and
You can tell.
taking care of ourselves.
What's that?
I don't know.
It's not coming from me.
It's not coming from me either. I don't know what it
I just
is.
want to acknowledge that one of my patients, Donna from California, is here. I see here at the bottom that the screen, this is Donna. And she had been working with me for a couple of years and made some amazing transformational changes, both structurally and metabolically. And she's here with open ears. Big fan of Donna and all the good work that you've been doing.
It's so great. Welcome. I know, Donna, we not only have a great name, we're a great same extended family. It's so beautiful. Yeah, I love what you guys both shared right there. How, I write about this too, or we talk about it all the time. It's like prioritizing health, family, business in that order. Yeah. Health, family, business. And there's probably many of you on here who or listening to this where we grew up, where we were told who we were supposed to be, what we were supposed to do, and what college we were going to go to or not go to. And we go down these paths that are sometimes almost like suicidal paths, rather than really having the confidence and the security to break away from those old patterns or these old messages or the stigma of who you should be, what you should love. You should love my noodle kugel. You should love it, and I don't eat eggs. I'm a vegan, and get out of my house. You mean you're a vegan? So, I'm there's these little family things that just trip us out. And a lot of kids, like when they grow up under my thumb, they end up taking the thumb and they hitch as far away from the home as they can because they didn't want to be under the thumb. Mm-hmm. So what you're both saying is so true, like in your career path or your practices or whatever, something comes back to that health. Because when we are healthy, and we are healthy, that our family is our body, that we take care of our body first, our family, we love and we support. Family, love, support, forgiveness. You can take your thumb off. Sometimes we have to cut all those ties with our family members that we biologically grew up. Maybe it's for a week, a day, some people 10 years, some people never go back. Some children didn't have biological families and they were in adopted families, and they have gone on to just thrive and be much better situations. And then there's the extended love family, just finding, and this is where we're coming on to the holidays, and more suicides happen, more depression all around because of this family. Who am I going to buy presents for? Family, who's going to be at the party under the tree? And those are social constructs. Those are nothing to do with family.
Wow. So if we can celebrate our own uniqueness and allow our children to grow and evolve. We're like the bows, and we shoot the arrow of our children out into the universe and then let them prosper on their own level. Instead of
I agree with that. And I would like to say that I've even seen that happen in my own life. My kids have been in some, some really crappy places. And I just, as you start to really take on that authentic self, and you start to really live life with your joy and your purpose, and you're leading your own life in a way that feels good for you, your children follow, because it just happens. You create that path for them to follow. And you're the leader, you're the parent. And if you give them the opportunity to find their own way, and lead your life in your own way, and not following those societal constructs or conforms, I think we're better off. I think that our children find their own way, and they become beautiful, healthy, thriving people in the world.
That's
And
one of the big things we need to start changing, that, as Donna mentioned about that multi-generation of following, my dad was an alcoholic or this,
Yeah.
and instead giving them all the open opportunities to be the best that they can be.
Yes.
absolutely. And I just love that analogy. You can just see the bow and the arrow, and bye, Junior. No failure to launch here, boom. But then when there's love and there's support and there's joy, I love this one too, like a boomerang.
And communication.
Yeah, communication, right? If we're good and we create a good family, not just with our biological family, but our friends, sometimes I'm still friends. Mike got my best friend from first grade here. Janie and I known each other 40 years, right? And she's on the call. So, I mean, like boomerangs, we find each other when there's that love and that support. And so I love
break that cycle.
We got the
break
arrow,
that cycle
we got
of
the
spoiling.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, go.
I mean, like you say in your book, pay attention to people, not material goods. A lot of parents want to spoil their kids with material possessions, buy them the best iPhone, the iPad, cars and all that. And that leads to no good, because not only do they need to earn what they need, but at the same time, we can give them more affection in so many other ways, through understanding, through teaching them things, whether it's health practices or taking time and being in nature together. That's something that I didn't really get much when I was with my parents, but at the same time, I was fortunate to learn more and more coming out here in the late 60s, California.
The gift of time.
Carolyn, Carolyn has something to say, and I'm so excited.
I hope it's exciting.
Carlene, Carly.
Yeah,
I read it wrong.
Okay, Carolina.
Carolina.
Yeah, it takes about 6 months to a year. I think Dr. Harvest might be still working on it. He remembers me from the free food sharing. Thank you, everybody, for what you've said so far. I just wanted to say, over the weekend, we bought a $10 Frisbee. I have a 10-year-old son, and he's been on vacation 1 week, and I'm just trying to echo what's been shared so far, the simplicity of time spent together. It's not about money, it's about soul.
Yes.
It's not about spirit, being in nature. $10, we've been out every day, and it's completely changed our family time.
You got your money's worth?
I'm not sure. There's a little tear in the edge. Probably take it back. I'm an American. I want the best for as cheap as I can. No, joking. We got our money's worth. We got our money's worth. So I just wanted to share that anecdote as a way to say it's possible, and it's possible on the simplest level. The other thing I want to say is, when we started talking about family early on, I was at the Waimea Farmers Market a couple weeks ago, and I bought a $2 starter veggie. I think it was sweet pea. And I saw that by accident. I saw that plant in the back of my car, and I was like, "Oh, sister from another mother, huh?" So immediately, this little plant was like a family to me, So I want to say to you that for me, when I walk outdoors and I see a tree that intrigues me, that creature, that tree is immediately part of my soul family. I mean, on the spot, yeah. I walk in the mornings for like an hour early, it's misty and foggy. And when I do that, I just welcoming all the birds and the sounds and stuff like that. So we have to train ourselves, I think, to do that. It's a retraining, right? I lived in San Francisco for 25 years. And I have to tell you, it's taken me a long time to be on island, to be here, right? Because the first 3 years was just letting go of the urban stuff, and now I'm here. A little bit better. It's still taking time. I'll get back to me in 10 years. I'll tell you how the project's going. But I just wanted to share those 2 comments. Thanks everybody. Appreciate it.
I want to applaud Carolina for the work that she does up here in North Kohala, and spend time going to the different orchards and taking care of abandoned fruit or getting donations and then feeding people at the St. Augustine Church, which I was fortunate to be part of that as well.
I just love it. And you guys, Carlene is awesome. She also, her and Kayla were the 2 people who are my chief editors in the 2nd edition. And see all these little papers, those are things I was going to read. But she is definitely my extended Kohala family, and her son is amazing. And do you mind just sharing about your son and how you adopted him? Do you mind sharing that with people? I think it's beautiful, or if you would rather not.
No, I'm transparent. I'm the open window. I'll share whatever I'm asked to. If I'm asked, it means I'm meant to be of service. So we say yes. I'm not going to give you the whole story because it's just a brief meeting, but I will say, I also was going to say about family. So in my own lesbian culture, we often say to other gay and lesbian folks in our queer circle, are you family? Because it's not always obvious. Not everybody's out right on the spot. So that's a word we often use in gay culture. Oh, you're family, right? Are you family? So I want to just give you a connotation for that, for folks who might not be gay. There's probably a few of you who are not gay here, but I'm just guessing. I don't know. That's just a big guess. But anyway, that was a little joke. Okay,
Can we still be family?
Straight people are honorary nerdy family.
Okay.
We're patient with you. We understand you've got issues, that kind of thing, but we work with you.
It's such
Thank
another
you.
way, right?
You're welcome. You're
That would
welcome.
be lovely.
Well, Tell's inviting in. He's going to sing Love, Joy, Gratitude. It's so good. On the ukulele.
Love, joy, gratitude, and inspiration. Synchronize your heart and mind with deep meditation. Immerse yourself in a blue state of mind. Feel the ocean's vibration. Like love, water flows, accept its purification. Live a joyful life, keep spiritually progressing. You're beautiful just the way you are. Celebrate each day's blessing. Seek your purpose in life. Harmonize your aspiration. Wake up with gratitude. Embrace your life situation.
Embrace it.
I said love, joy, gratitude, and inspiration. Synchronize your heart and mind with deep meditation. Immerse yourself in a blue state of mind. Feel the ocean's vibration. Set a strong intention with positive vibrations. Be mindful in all your contemplations. Say love, joy, gratitude, and inspiration. Raise the vibe.
Wow, raise the vibe. That was a brilliant suggestion for starting up.
Yes.
You.
All right, I'm going back to
Oh, yay.
get back on to contribute.
Yeah, Harvey, thank you so much for that, Harvest. I was just going to read one little quick thing and then because I kind of lost track where I was and maybe this will help me get back on track. Okay.
Okay, sounds good. You got it. We love you.
I love you too. Okay. During the COVID pandemic, people are relearning what the word essential means and understanding the benefit of prioritizing health, family, and business in that order. With the right nutrients, we can turn it into a fertile world once again. As we are faced with so much adversity, a proud moment is rising and pushing back on injustice. We can start by using our influences to replace antiquated laws in our local communities. We can build a new economy based on human kindness, the arts, nature, organic, wholesome food, preservation, conservation, education, healthy lifestyles, and other regenerative exchanges. We can learn from the past and imagine something better. As we detox from our old ways, we may experience die-off and emotional grief. Filling ourselves with new conscious cures, we can move forward with empathy and grace as we recover and regenerate. Broadening our sight, we realize we can be happy doing things differently with people who love and support us. And I think, we are in a new era, right? And it isn't the worst time in history. Guess what, right? Look where we are. Look where we're here. We have this technology that brings us together, even though there's really sick people out there who want to, ruin your parade. Those are those energy vampires like Shannon was reading about earlier from the book, that we just when that happens, we do just what we did. Sometimes we just have to walk away. Like Kayla said, we just have to go.
Yeah.
And start anew. And sure, it's gonna mess with our cells and our family and our bodies because we're gonna feel. I'm stressing out. I gotta eat something. I went and I got something to eat.
They are not worth your mental energy.
Nope.
No.
Exactly.
No. We vibe higher. Let's go,
Yeah.
hun.
Let's so go. So we don't really have that much time, but we lost a lot of people, and Harvest is going to come back and play a little bit more music. But I think, I'm just so honored that we got another person coming on right now. I'm just so honored to have this caliber of people like Shannon Kelly and Dr. Harvest on to just share where we're coming from. Shannon's in Saskatchewan, Canada, right? And we're here on the big island of Hawaii, and family is universal. And you look at Tel and who's over there in the Philippines, and it's family is so different. We got Canada, US, Philippines, but something that I learned pretty recently in the Philippines and other countries around the world, they don't have daycare centers. They don't have senior facilities. They take care of their family. And we started out this conversation at the very beginning, talking about how dysfunctional, the American, traditional American family that was following this American dream, that really deteriorated the family in many ways. And then people wanted more, and then the moms had to go to work, and then before you know it, the kids in high school had to go to work, and there was no time to sit around the family table and communicate. And then you weren't communicating, and so you put out the thumb one day, or you were under the thumb and you help run the family gas station or whatever business your family are in, or else you don't eat tonight. So we're so talking so many levels ahead of that. And it comes back to me, and Shannon, I love Harvest for you to chime in on this, is that whole planetary healing piece is and Harvest, you touched upon it earlier, where, we don't give love to our children, we give them things, or we give them things to do to get them out of our hair. Not your parents or my parents, maybe necessarily, but a lot of these dysfunctional families and a lot of these problems that we're seeing that are eroding humanity and cultures. And I feel what I write about, and one of the conscious cures is the closer we get to nature, the closer we get to our true nature. The closer we get to nature, the closer we get to our true nature. And what the American dream has done, and what this greed and what this want and desire for things has done to us culturally, has taken away from our true nature. And we call God, Father. We call the earth Mother. Where is that? what do we do with that concept? You know, Father Sky, Mother Sun, Mother Earth, whatever. But there, we are attached to we have lost that attachment to our spiritual. The God is not a masculine in my view. And the earth is not a feminine, although I call her the Mother Earth. But that's that paradigm shift, or that's that looking at like we all belong. That's that nature side of things that has gotten so social constructed in the congregations of Christ or Buddha or organized religion that has separated families because we don't all agree on, you know, who's at your dinner table. And then we look at the Mother Earth and we rape and take and abuse, right? Wrong. We do. Not you, not me. But the mother of all creation, the Spirit, the Holy Spirit. The closer we get to nature, the closer we get to our true nature. Because that is the mother, that we all come from the same mother. All of us. That's the way I believe. That's what I write about. Not that our biological families don't affect us and aren't important. And then we take the arrow and like Harvey said, and we shoot it and we let the kids go out. And then if it's a boomerang, it'll come back and we feed off our families and we have the feast together and we do all this epic stuff. And some people have the most beautiful families together. And sometimes you find yourself at someone else's house, a family gathering, and you just want to cry because they're so functional. And how can they love each other? But you know, guess what? They got problems too. Because the closer we get to nature, the closer we get to our true nature. And if people around that table are closer to God or closer to nature from a spiritual place, not a religious, like, don't let that person in there. I don't like the color of their skin, or you're queer. I mean, that was so interesting that we got bombed when she started talking about being queer. It was very sad. And her son is, she adopted this child at birth. I don't even know if Caroline is on here, but I just to finish her story. Yeah, she's not on here. Her son is African-American. There's this queer woman and adopts this African-American son who hangs out here, by the way, because when she edits, it's great. And he is adorable. And she's giving this kid a huge opportunity. That's God. That's mother. And all the stuff in between that we've been bombarded with has gotten in between us being who we are, like Shannon and Harvest both said. That's why I write. And that's why some people don't like what I write. And that's okay. I got to accept that. You put that out there, whether you're a musician or an artist, or you want to let people know you're queer and you're out of the closet, you know, you're going to get some shit going, you know. So anyway, thank you for letting me read that, and thank you for letting me babble, because I just needed to come back to, like, I wanted to make sure that I didn't forget that was a really important thought for all of us to ponder on. Maybe go look at the stars, the moon's getting bigger tonight, or just get outside and hug a tree, because that's part of your family. And Shannon and Harvest, I would like you to, you know, do some words in closing. And then I have some really exciting things I want to close with and tell you a little bit about next week, because next week is going to freaking blow your mind too. Like hopefully not with a bomber. So Shannon and Harvest, thank you for just coming on and sharing your thoughts on the closer we get to nature, the closer we get to our true nature.
Can I read one more thing out of the book?
Yes.
Okay. It says, the less we need, the more connected we become to our sense of self and others. The less we need, the smaller our ecological footprint and the healthier we become. That happens not just with our things, but with our thoughts. And the more we let go of all of the old limiting beliefs and the old paradigms that you know, that we've grown up to carry within ourselves, when we start to let all of that go and we purge our old thought patterns, we find that we actually do need less things. to be happy. So I really love that. And so I wanted to share that.
I love that. And the less things we need, the healthier the earth is, because all the
Yes.
things that we need come from the mother.
Yes.
Mm,
Can you hear me?
yes, but
Yes,
we
we
only
can.
we only see your chin. Your chin is in the way. I mean, we want to
Okay.
see all of you harvest.
All right, just going to say that you mentioned something about being around the table, the family unit. You know, in Italy, they have a saying, nobody gets old around the table, because it's part of their culture to have a glass of wine, to invite relatives, have some delicious pasta and food. Most of it's grown. And we need to return to that and break through some of the isolation. You ever see family, they go out to fast food, they come back, one person's on their phone, one person's watching TV. It's ridiculous. That has to be completely revamped.
And outside in a park in nature and a picnic with farm to table food.
Food is a celebration of life.
Hey, Harvest, can you close your door? Because I'm hearing you like in stereo, sweetheart. He's literally like right in the next
We're
area.
close quarters, right?
Yeah, we like it that way. And thank you both for sharing that. And that's so interesting too, like what you just said, like we're in close quarters, a lot of the problems that are happening today is due to this inequality that we all understand. And a lot of people who are sick and have been dying from COVID are in these small family compounds where they have no place to go. And we are so fortunate because this whole sickness that's happening globally has to do what they're finding out now, which a lot of us mostly on here really understood or know, is that there isn't clean air, there isn't clean water, there isn't ventilation. And that's why people get colds and flus and they get sick in the cold and flu season. Well, guess why? You're inside. You're not out communing with nature and you're not getting that ventilation and all of that. But ventilation is so important. And what a better place to get that than to go outside, put on a raincoat when it's pouring, put on extra clothes when it's cold, and relate to those elements, because that's how we're going to stay healthy this fall. That's how we're going to stay healthy this winter. That's how those are the people who are going to live the longest, healthiest lives, are the ones who are taking care of their family business within their own bodies and who are taking care of the natural nature and spend time in nature.
And build resilience, because it's through resilience and that we don't allow the aging process, which I hate the word anti-aging. There's nothing wrong with aging. It's just age gracefully and stay connected. Look at all these blue zones where the people live, way into 100 years old, and they don't have Alzheimer's and other kinds of conditions because they make it a priority to stay connected to nature and avoid technology wherever possible.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I think that that technology represents the new age, right? And it's so interesting, like the word anti-aging, but it's making people age. I mean, for the first time, the generations that living today are not going to live as long as the generations from before. And it's part of that, like, aging process. But we also have to keep up with the new age and the science and our sense of self, how we're going to get through this, what we're going through right now, which isn't the worst time in history, by the way. It's a very great, exciting time, huge opportunity, great time to start a business. And that is what I would like to end talking about right now, because next week we're going to be talking about business and birthing. Right now, there is a whole new, it's like a renaissance. There's never been a better time to be an entrepreneur. There's never been a time to go out and start your own practice, because the corporate world is what has, in my opinion, and I also write about it in the book, has destroyed the family values. It is destroying the families. It is in the 40s and the 50s and the 60s, even before these corporations became mega corporations, before everything, and also population growth has a lot to do with that. But you become a number, like Harvey, you were saying earlier, like people, they don't feel like a number when they come to you as a patient. Take a number, take a number.
Of course.
And it's very, very, by having your own company, and that's what Shannon teaches and teaches is these rebel entrepreneurs to just don't follow the pack, undo that and create anew. Like tell Jonathan, you're both on the call. We're family. Where we believe Harvest. You're believing in these similar things. You find these common bounds, common ground that you share love and kindness and support with, and you can create anything.
Yes, and I had mentioned to you
Yes.
earlier that I hope one day to see your work put on the full screen and sent all over the country and the world, because it's a common theme that we all want to resonate with, and we can all collaborate together for that and set a goal.
I'm so glad.
The one good thing about technology is that it's created a world that seems smaller because we can reach the other side of the world.
Mhm.
And I would just like to say that love grows best in small spaces.
Mm. Look how
I
healthy
agree.
your plants are right behind there.
They're my babies.
See, they look, we have both those plants growing in our yard by thousands of them.
Yeah, I have to grow mine indoors. It's going to be 40 below here very soon.
Wow.
Well, does anybody else have anything they want to say before in closing? I mean, I don't want anybody to ever feel shy. I don't know, I didn't look in the chat if there were any questions, but I wanted to, this is the time to do it. And if not, I want to just share just a tidbit of announcements of incredible things that are happening this week. First of all, I'm not seeing any hand raising or anybody jumping in. And
Wait, we're jumping in. We're jumping in.
good, jump in.
This your comment on family mattering, whether it be through what you're the family that you're born into or the ones that people around. I was telling you about the quote, "Blood is thicker than water" is like commonly misquoted, where a lot of times it means that the blood of the covenant, which is the friends, is thicker than water in the womb, saying that the people that you choose to surround yourself with, they're the bonds that you thrive with, even more so sometimes than the family that you are born into. Which love my family, love the family I'm with. I get to have you as an aunt, but obviously everybody that we've gotten to meet over the journey of our lives are equally as impactful and important. Yeah. Also, love you. Love you.
That is so awesome, because when you we
once
when
again. Oh, sorry.
no go.
On the topic of the internet's pretty cool. It's pretty cool that we are able to connect, even though I'm in Boston and you're in Hawaii. And yeah, it's almost our bedtime. Holding us over till we get to be back in Hawaii.
That's holding you on. I can't wait. Well, I just love you for bringing that, and that does remind me of and it's in the book too. You can get a blood transfusion, but you can't live without water, and water is like family. It holds you up, it keeps you buoyant. And that is exactly what Elena, when she was here, I told her that quote and she goes, blah, blah, blah. And I said, oh my God, I got to remember that because it's so amazing. So thank you for that. That is so beautiful. Just 1 second, Harvest. So it is really true. And all of us here, like if you took off and you could wave to everybody, but I just want to share these few little golden nuggets with you. First of all, if you haven't read Living Like the Future Matters, can you hand me a copy of it, Harvest? It's right there, or in the journal. It's on sale, the ebook, for 99 cents today. And then, I did it all week. And if you're not getting my newsletters, Elena, it's really weird. Would you put your email in there? Thank you so much. Put your email in there because I emailed Kayla, but I tried finding you in there. Here is, this book is on sale for 99 cents as an ebook through today. I had it on all week and I forgot to mention to you guys last week, but we've been posting it on social media. And then this book, and this is, you know, because you guys aren't showing up. This is free, the journal, all this next coming week. It'll either show today or tomorrow. You'll have to let everybody know and put the link in there. But this way you can see the journal. It makes great, everything we've talked about is in this journal through the whole course. And it gives you a place to write your feelings and everything. And if you see it, and it makes a great holiday gift. All my books do. So, you know, I got to pay Tell. So you guys support my habit of doing all this stuff. I do this to make a difference, not a living, but I want Tell to make a living. So I need to pay her. Right, Tell? Yay. So, but all my books make great gifts. But those, so you can look at the both of those books were basically free. But also put your email in the chat if you haven't been getting the emails, because every week I send out announcements, like if Shannon's doing some great thing or Harvest is doing something, I put it in there so you can see it. So then next week's topic on the is going to rock your world. I mentioned it was on business, and Robinson, who's founded Global Food Collaborative, which follows the value chain of our entire food system globally. She's a brilliant woman. She started the small business development in Alaska that she's over the top. You're going to be blown away by this woman. And then these two farmers are coming on. One is their husband and wife team, and Kelly, her husband, will be actually in the field on their 2,600-acre farm where they grow regenerative crops. And Kelly, Deanne will be at home, and they are going to be like talking from the farm, that whole value chain, right? And right now the chain supply is so like plant a garden, like Harvey was talking about. I mean, this is where family is more important than ever. Because, you know, guess what? Before the New Deal, there was a depression. And people planted victory gardens in World War I and World War II because there wasn't enough food.
People were healthy too.
And people were healthier too. But here's the thing, you know, being prepared, which we talk about in the book as well, is so important. So next week, it's just going to be really, it's your business, what you put in your garden and in your body, and how you build community around a business, and keep your family together and healthy, and keep yourself together and healthy. So if you could, I don't know if you could put a link to the newsletter in there, but there's a great TEDx event. Kat Haber was on here earlier. She is a TEDx facilitator. I've done a TEDx talk, thankfully, to her, but there's a great TEDx event and it's in the newsletter. Also, Bioneers is coming up, which is amazing. I wanted to share that with you. And Natalie's not on, but we are, I wrote an article in her new magazine, this new issue for Heart and Soil magazine, and it's called One Bite at a Time. And I want to make sure you get the newsletter so you can read the article and check out her newspaper. It's amazing. And I am going to be talking to you more about a business opportunity that you guys can jump on, which is Purium. They're the best supplements I've ever taken, and I've been taking supplements for a really long time, but they're all plant-based, all come from regenerative farming, all like the most healthy, pure, and not in plastic products you can put in your body. But we'll talk about that another time. But the most, and also we're going to make sure they get the Global Food Collaborative newsletter so they can learn about Shannon. Okay, Tell? I want to make sure everybody gets that. I mean, not Shannon, of course, Shannon, but the Global Food Collaborative newsletter is so incredible, and it just features all these farmers and fishermen and people who are feeding you and me, and where our food is actually coming from and how it is actually produced. Because remember, our bodies are our family. So you're going to want to look at her newsletter. The other thing that is super exciting is Tell and I and Harvest here, and a lot of local musicians and celebrity chefs from our area. I'm going to be offering starting in January, and which is another great gift. Soon you'll hear about it. But I'm going to do, after this is all over and all that, it is immune system building recipes in Mamadana's kitchen. So you're going to be invited in Mamadana's kitchen, and you are going to have as many people in your kitchen as you want for the same price. And you can buy a ticket half price for your family who's in Maine or in Saskatchewan or in the Philippines for half price. And guess what? Everybody's invited, no matter how much money you can pay. So it's not, again, like we're going to have suggested pricing, but it's really about how do we help each other build our immune system. And like, like I've been a chef for 40 years, ran a restaurant for 37 of those years. And I know something about food. And we're going to be doing gut microbiome food and nutrient dense food with a lot of decadence in there, because we got to have that decadence for our mental health, right? But we can do it healthy. So you can look forward to that. And if you're interested in that and you're not on my email list, put your email in the chat right now. So Till has it. She'll send you the newsletter with all those events in there so you can look for them. And if you haven't already written a review for Conscious Cures, which I see most of you on here have not, Kayla, it's your turn. Here comes Carlina back. And please write a review for the book. It means the world to me. It helps people find the book. And I'm seeing all these really nice, beautiful messages coming in. But anyway, I just really appreciate those of you who have written a review. It means the world to me. And share the book. I'm gonna make it free next week, the ebook, so you can share it with your friends. Like I said, the journal was free, is free this week, and today's the last day to get Living Like the Future Matters, which is a 400-page book for 99 cents.
Amazing.
And so anyway, Carlina, I already talked about you a little and how amazing you were. So now you come on and we're leaving. But I'm really sorry that was just so weird. We might not have to mention that word when we're on here, but anyway, I'm not even going to say it right now. But I love you so much, Carlina, and I am so glad you're here. And when you read the next edition, where you're all going to get a free copy, know that Carlina, there's her face, and there's Kayla here, there's her face. These women have gone up and above and beyond to make the book even better, along with Janie, who is also on here, who is the bomb of an editor. Actually, Janie left, she went to bed. Mm-hmm. Okay, so anybody else have anything else that they would like to say? And I want to just thank you, Tel, too, so much for responding to everybody and putting all those links in there, and for you guys to put your email in just so you haven't gotten anything. So anybody, Shelly, Kayla, Harvey, Caroline, anybody else have anything? Carlina, Kelly, anybody want to say something?
I just want to say thank you. Thank you for gathering us all here. And I missed last week. There was a time error going on.
I know, right?
But we got it right this week, so we're good. I watched the replay. It was amazing. And I look forward to next week. And thank you for allowing me to be a guest this week. And nice to meet all of you. And hopefully we can connect again. And apparently I need to get to the Big Island, because you guys live like the future matters.
And
Where
if
are you
anyone wants
based?
to hear some of the music,
I'm in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, Canada.
Wow.
So I'm in northern Saskatchewan.
You know what? When you come, we are going to have such a party. You're going to be here for one of the culinary classes, and we are just going to rock.
Oh yeah.
it.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna teach you guys how to cook some traditional Métis food.
Ooh. Métis food. Now that's a loaded question. What is Métis?
Métis is half Cree and half Irish.
Wow. Because you are half Cree and half Irish.
I am.
Oh, it's so beautiful. That's why you're so beautiful. You're all beautiful. Every one of you are beautiful. And Harvest, we'll send you all your YouTube channel, right? If you
Harvest Moon Rising Tides at Gmail.
Nice.
Yeah. Wait, that's how they get to your YouTube?
Yeah, Harvest Moon Rising Tides at gmail.com. That's my YouTube channel.
Oh,
And I do have a website, Harvest Moon at risingtides.com.
can you say that so people can hear?
Well, the YouTube is Harvest Moon Rising Tides at Gmail, and the website is harvestmoonrisingtides.com.
Because he's retiring from and put Shannon's, you all have gotten Shannon's, I didn't have that website because I had medical practice website, but make sure Shannon's is in there. You're gonna love her website. She's just like badass to the bone, man. She doesn't like that. And yeah, and so thank you so much for that. And thank you so much for reminding me of that. And everybody, I love you all so much. We'll see you next week, same time. And please share it with your friends and family and invite people who could gain from the wisdom of the people coming on and from each other as we keep sharing these conscious cures.
Mhm.
And here's Harvest, take it away. What are you gonna sing? Living Like the Future Matters.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna sing the theme song to this book. He wrote the song from this book.
Living like the future matters. Living like we really care. Be kind to Mother Nature. Learn to give and share. Living like the future matters. Living like you really care. Be kind to Mother Nature. Learn to give and share. Dare to dream, dare to do. The health of the planet is up to us. By living like the future matters. Matters, matters, matters. Time to get motivated. Gather your thoughts and be creative. Where there's a will, there's a way. We can contribute every day. But living like the future matters. It matters. It matters. Open up your eyes. Embracing your heart. Now's the time to volunteer and do your part. We all need to lend a hand. Show appreciation for the land. The environment is at our command. Oceans and valleys and rivers are sighing. Let's pull all our resources and keep on trying. By living like the future matters. It matters. It matters. We all need the air we breathe to refresh us. Let's purify the water supply, it's precious. Take the challenge and clean up Mother Earth. Realize how much it's really worth. Become a reflection of nature's perfection. Planting seeds of Gaia's regeneration. Come on, dance yourself up. By living like the future matters. It matters. It matters. Living like the future matters. It matters. It matters. Woo! All right, everybody's got the high vibe there.
And I want you to know, Harvest and his wife gave me this dress. My extended family.
It's beautiful.
It's bright and alive. And that's how I feel when I'm around my tribe. I just want to thank you all so much for being here, and many, many blessings till next week. And if you want to chat before then, you know how to get a hold of me. Aloha.
Bye.
Woo.
Aloha.
Love you guys.
Love you.
Bye.
Become a reflection of nature's perfection, planting seeds of Gaia's regeneration. By living like the future matters, it matters, it matters. Living like the future matters, it matters, it matters.